Welcome to Retro Crisis. In today's video, I'd like to introduce you to a new shader preset for Retro Crisis GDV-NTSC, which is for the Super Game Boy. So I've decided to do the Super Game Boy rather than a traditional Game Boy, simply because the Super Game Boy adds added vertical and horizontal screen resolution, and in turn lends itself well to using shader presets. The original Game Boy's screen resolution was simply too low to meaningfully use a CRT shader preset, so we'll be sticking with the Super Game Boy. As usual, if you'd like to learn how to install the shader preset, please check the installation guide in the description. But we also need to do some additional configuration before we can begin using the Super Game Boy preset. So firstly, open RetroArch, then go down to Online Updater. Go to Core Downloader, scroll down to Nintendo, and then scroll down to Game Boy Color. Now here we have a few different Game Boy cores. Obviously, feel free to use whichever one you want, but the one I have the best experience with is Same Boy. And then once you're on Same Boy, press enter to download. And then once it's downloaded, open up a Game Boy game of your choice. And once you've got the game loaded, press F1 to go to the quick menu, and then go down to Core Options, go to System, and under Emulated Model, press enter, and then go down to Auto Detect, DMG, SGB, and CGB. Go down to the next option, which says Auto Detect SGB Model requires restart. Press enter. Personally, I prefer to use Super Game Boy 2. And then go down to Real-Time Clock Emulation, and then change it to Sync to System Clock. And then go back, go down to Video, press enter. Go to GB Mono Palette. Now my personal preference is to choose Lime Game Boy, simply because that's the model that I'm most nostalgic for, the original Game Boy. However, feel free to pick whichever one you want. And then go down to GBC Color Correction. Again, pick whichever one you like the look of. My personal preference is Modern Accurate. And then go down to Display Border. And then go to Always. And now you need to close RetroArch and reopen it. And then once you've opened RetroArch, return to your game. And now you should notice any Super Game Boy compatible game you load up will load up in full color with a customized border. And that's all the configuration done. And now all you need to do is load up Retro Crisis GDV-NTSC Super Game Boy. Here's a quick showcase of what you can expect.